Alright, so here we go, guys. This is game number 2 in the final best-of-3 series. Zenith versus LGD, Gigabyte Dota Masters Grand Final. I'm TriumphOfMan. With me, of course, is Gods. Once again, this is Zenith on the rating up against LGD on the die. And again, Gods, the same band, or almost. Earthshaker being banned second this time around. But Zenith getting rid of that purple Darkseer once again. Also, LGD getting rid of the Chen, although this time they pick up the Furion. In fact, Loader's crazy farm Furion has been a key hero in all of Zenith's victories so far tonight.
Oh yeah, and I like the profit ban. Once again, I mean, game number 1 and 2, Loader playing some beastly profits here, and we'll see what adjustments are. And I feel that was, I mean, from after losing the first best of 3, 2-0, the LGD's main adjustment was banning out the profit. They left Enchantress in the pool. We'll have to see if Enchantress gets banned out here or actually picked up by Zenith. Zenith didn't want to take it in that previous game here, so we'll see. I think in Lycan ban. Lycan's very annoying to go up against. There we go. Lycan being banned. Chaos Knight left in there. Are Zenith going to go for the Chaos Knight, though? That's the big question here. They will go for it. And LGD, they're feeling confident they can deal with it. I mean, this is a hero that Chinese teams are more familiar with than anyone else. They use it so frequently. They verse it quite frequently. It's kind of like Windrunner. It gets left in the pool a lot. It gets picked a lot. It's not always auto-banned in the Chinese scene. So I feel they, more than anyone, do know how to deal with this. And they're quite happy giving up the Chaos Knight because they didn't get a strong double pick here. Windrunner's Queen of Pain still in the pool. We'll see which way they want to go. Those are probably the two main picks that they're probably looking at. And Queen of Pain, I think, was actually banned a couple of those games so far.
Yeah, she has been, and actually Zenith were the ones that banned it, if I remember correctly. Actually, speaking of Chinese teams and getting Zenith versus Chinese teams with Chaos Knight, actually, during the losers brackets, third game against IG, Zenith actually did clobber IG with a Chaos Knight, so we'll see how it goes this time round. LGD actually snapping up that Queen of Pain along with the Shadow Demon. Queen of Pain actually make it through the banning through the initial banning stage for a change. Of course, she has actually been causing Zenith some grief. I think it was actually their orange matches. Zenith versus Orange, Queen of Pain was actually causing them some serious issues. Her mobility and her firepower in the early game is pretty damn strong. Even in some of the matches Orange ultimately lost, it was the Queen of Pain, Yamata on Queen of Pain, causing absolute havoc. Enchantress, though, being picked up by Zenith, I guess we'll be seeing some early tower pushes here.
Yeah, and this is a different style coming from them, and this is something they have had great success with, having the jungle heroes. We'll see X-Freedom playing that, and especially with Shadow being picked up. That's been, so far, Zenith's bread and butter support hero. Has played really magnificently, getting so many clutch saves off with the disruption, but with it being taken by LGD. I like the fact LGD picked it up. It's going to force Zenith into doing something different, but Zenith are a team of many trades, and they're going to go with the Enchantress Windrunner. This is going to give them very strong lanes. The Enchantress is going to be a very scary hero to come out of that jungle for some early pushes, early kills, and Windrunner just such a strong laning hero on her own merits.
Okay, they're asking what the item build for CK was last match. If I remember correctly, it was Bottle, Treads, Drums, BKB were the main items, if memory serves me correctly, Gods. I can't remember what he bought after that.
Yes. Yeah, that's pretty much it. I mean, maybe not, I don't know the exact order. I think he got Treads with the magic wand first, and then goes into again gets the drums, then the BKB, and then after that he was just stockpiling like 5k gold. I don't think he ever actually bought another item, although he did have enough gold to get something like a heart by the end of the game.
And we'll see what the final pick here is for LGD. They have a support, they have Queen of Pain now, she's flexible, could be a safe lane farmer, or could be a mid solo who can then gank it relatively early on, but we've seen her used in quite a few different roles in this tournament. So LGD, though, I cannot remember the last time they played Queen of Pain. She's sort of she's a fairly common hero, so she doesn't stick out in my mind. They do have a final ban. Oh, they do have a final pick here. I'm kind of feeling maybe a Suicide Solo. They have the opportunity to go for a hard carry now if they want, but LGD, they haven't been really huge on the hard carries. They played Morphling once, and that's about it. They had the Syllabear as well, but he wasn't really playing as a hard carry. Brewmaster, though, being picked up by LGD, so we'll see what kind of damage they can unleash with that. In fact, last match, the Brewmaster was pretty damn unstoppable, and combined with the CK, they were just basically charging around, causing so much trouble in the middle of the fights.
Yeah, it's a hero which I think LGD recognized that they really excelled with last game, and they wanted to make sure it doesn't get banned out this time around. And picking up at this point in the draft, I think is perfectly fine. They can still run it with a support hero, go for some dual lanes, or just put it in that solo mid role. It's a pretty versatile pick. Last game they had it as a side lane solo up against the Brewmaster. So, Brood Mother. He is the Brewmaster. This is me getting a bit tired after a long day.
I do that too repeatedly. But anyway.
Stumble over my words. And fourth and fifth bans here. Morphling from Zenith. I mean, this is, pretty straightforward from both teams. Leshrac actually not getting picked up. That's probably the only real big surprise from these first 6 picks, I feel.
Actually, it's been quite a frequent show so far in the Grand Final tonight. Morphling, though, being banned out by Zenith, they decided, well, if we're not using him, we don't want LGD to get their hands on. In fact, they have used him tonight already. Didn't really work out, but it still was a bit of a scare, I think, for them anyway. One more pick, or one more ban, though, for both teams. What will we see knocked off? In fact, if they're worried about the Morphling, they might even knock out the Anti-Mage as well. Actually, no, if they pick the Anti-Mage, I think Zenith will rejoice if they pick the Anti-Mage, just because it will give them a lot of room to get aggressive early on. And they've got a few heroes that can definitely do that, especially if they pick up some more stuff as well. And really work their lineup around. In fact, we've even seen a Death Prophet tonight. All sorts of crazy stuff tonight. One more ban, though, and it looks like it is going to be the Venomancer picked off by Zenith, and now LGD. What will they get rid of? Gods, I'm not dead sure what LGD might pick off here last. Maybe something like the Syllabear?
Yeah, I think that would be pretty smart. Actually, that would be a nice ban here. I mean, we're looking at probably a win runner solo. The thing is, Chaos Knight can't really go solo that well. He wants to have a support hero with him. Syllabear is a smart pick because it's actually a carry hero that can solo his lane. Chaos Knight isn't really a hard carry, so Syllabear would work well for Zenith here. I really like the Venomancer ban. That's a hero which LGD love to use in the support role. They've already got the Shadow Demon, but sure, banning out another support hero, they'll want to get a second support, like the Veno. I mean, we saw how much farm Veno got last game. He was ridiculously farmed by the end of that game. Ghost Scepter, Vitality Booster, and a Hood. Lina actually banned by LGD. I'm not too sure about that. What their line of thought is with that one. I guess because of the synergy with the Chaos Knight. Just having a nice sort of AoE style. I mean, both Leshrac and Lina are 2 heroes which you can combo with the Chaos Knight, so I guess they're wanting to ban out some of those heroes, because Zenith, with their aggression, heroes like Lina and Leshrac, with their AoE stuns, which you're guaranteed to hit at least 1 hero with, can be very, very powerful.
And I think it's also just been the fact that her Laguna Blades, they know exactly who they want to focus fire, and they never really screw it up and zap something and then don't get a kill. Pretty much every time Zenith dropped a Laguna Blade, they took out what they were after, and they got rid of it and burst it down. For a hero like Queen of Pain, that's actually pretty annoying, because she's like trying to do her thing, gets in with a scream, and then bam, stunned, dead, Laguna Blade. She's all gone. And I think that's something that Xiao is probably fairly wary of. Lina's burst damage is pretty damn crazy high, and like you said, if you have a setup stun for her, she can really cause a whole ton of havoc. Like, it's the classic pub storm lane. A setup stun like a Burrow Strike or a Sven Stormbolt is the perfect thing to pair up a Lina with, just because they can cause havoc. Or in this case, what we've seen repeatedly tonight, the Shadow Demon with the Lina. And the damage out from Soul Catcher has been ridiculously painful. But the Syllabear has been picked up by Zenith, so they will actually manage to slip that in. I honestly thought LGD would pick that off, but
yeah, you're spot on with that, man. And I feel it does really fit really well into Zenith's style of play here. I mean, it's one of those things, they can run it as a suicide solo as well if they want to have win run at mid with the Chaos Knight in the safe lane. I mean, we've seen Loda play that suicide solo lone druid really well. And LGD, how are they going to do it? They probably want to go for sort of more mid-game team fight push build. And there we go. There's your push. DK picked up, and they really want to put on some pressure before Lone Druid and CK gets farmed. CK isn't that strong at stopping pushes. That's one of his weak points. He also needs a bit of farm before he can get involved in any sort of a team fight. Lone Druid is very similar in that respect. Can't really do all that much. Just stop pushes or get involved until he gets up a Radiance, really. I mean, he can chip away towers and push some towers if he gets left alone, but there's some weak points in Zenith's lineup, which right now LGD are trying to exploit using this DK pick. They've got the Queen of Pain and Brewmaster as well to put on a lot of mid-game pressure and really look to take down some early towers.
And we'll see what goes down. Indeed, one more pick for both teams. I'm kind of calling another support here. Like you said, for Zenith, what they need is something to back up the CK. Anything that can just help him out there in the lane. It's preferably something with a fairly long range and decent lane control as a support hero. And that's, well, they've got stuff like CM left in the pool. VS if they really want to, but I kind of don't really feel her in this situation. I feel something with the range. Like, they really want some good long range to help set up, because it's going to be more of a dual lane here. Although I suppose the Enchantress is going to be in the jungle. She can pop out every now and help them out. So that wouldn't be too bad in that respect, but we'll see what they go down with. Also, LGD, one more pick for them. I think they also could do with another support hero again. So both teams kind of lacking their last support here.
And Venomancer is a really smart ban from that point of view, because that's a support that LGD would love to have. And as far as sort of semi-pushing supports go, there aren't too many left. I mean, maybe just the Crystal Maiden will be going LGD's way. Tidehunter, though, is a very strong possibility. Tidehunter has a great team fight, and Zenith, out of nowhere, pull out a Bane, and I'm trying to think where. I guess just maybe trying to think that they can sleep or fiend script the DK. DK could just go BKB and stand in the front line, so they want something that can go through the BKB and is a support hero. So Bane is one of those options. The sleep can be useful. You can just throw the sleep on Queen of Pain and then use Fiend's Grip on something like the DK. But it's a very unusual, unorthodox pick, and something that isn't very mobile, can be dealt with if you're careful with the timing of your spells. If you make sure you have a disable to get cancelled as Fiend's Grip, as well as just not throwing down your spells, saving them to deal with that Bane.
Well, I'm just looking at this Bane here. I do agree. But the thing is, one of the big weaknesses to sleep is it's often prone to getting clipped in the middle of a fight just by the AoEs, and that's one thing that Zenith don't have. I think they've got exactly one AoE at the moment. That's Power Shot, so it's really unlikely to mess that up. And the thing is, like, they can really mess with this lineup if you say if you cut DK's damage. He's going to do pretty much nothing in the fight, although of course he's got a nasty stun, sleep the Queen of Pain, and then grip something else, or even sleep the Lich or something. So I think I like it. But at the same time, I agree, there is a few glaring weaknesses. And just the thing is, I don't know where they're going to put it in the lane. Because it does want levels, and he's you do want a bit of farm on him, because he's not very much fun to play as a really squishy hero, because he does need to get pretty close up to stuff. So I'm really not sure how they're going to work this Bane.
I think he's going to be bottom lane with the Chaos Knight, or maybe top lane with the Chaos Knight, and then and the Enchantress at top as well. Right now, they're all sort of heading towards top lane, including the Windrunner. It looks like that's just a bit of a four-man sweep. It is going to be Loda, once again, playing that side lane solo. He's going to be on the Lone Druid at bottom lane. He is going to maybe send his Spirit Bear top to do a bit of scouting. We've seen them use that trick where they send the Spirit Bear top to pull the creep away. Early smoke from Zenith, so it is going to be a four-man sweep top. And then I think we'll see HY head towards the middle lane on that Windrunner. What have we got from LGD though? Zhao 8 laying the Queen of Pain in the top lane. Shadow Demon heading top as well, so Queen of Pain dueling by the looks of things. DK at mid, played by Sylar, going for the fast ball, and bottom lane. We've got a bit of a duel lane. The Lich Brewmaster, this is a very kind of Chinese style of play, having a dual lane with a Lich in a hard lane. Even with the Brewmaster, it used to be sort of the Lich Windrunner, but teams have started doing it with sort of tanky string heroes who are hard to kill, like Brewmaster.
And they're smoked up here. They're looking for a kill. The question is, has Queen of Pain figured out there's trouble here? They could try and pick off the Shadow Demon. I don't think they can get the Queen of Pain. She's going to be a little bit too tricky. They throw in the ward, spot DD, but unfortunately he's seen them as well. Maybe they should have been a little bit quicker on that ward, as they didn't get the chance to ambush him at all. And it looks like they're just going to have to give up on that. Now it looks like Enchantress is going to be offensively jungling. And Lone Druid, yeah, he'll take the bottom lane like you said. Windrunner going to take that solo mid though. Alright then. Going to be up against a DK. That's going to be that'll be a pretty easy lane for the Windrunner. And Lich going to be in that bottom lane. Is going to deny a fair amount of experience from Loda though.
Yeah, and that's going to make Loda have a very hard time in this bottom lane. And think not just denying the XP, but you pull the wave back. And once the wave's pulled back, well, you can be very aggressive. Frost Nova plus a clap. Loda can be put under. A lot of pressure can be taken down. The duel slows. That slow will last for a good sort of 5-6 seconds if you time it well so that they don't stack. And a lot of right clicks can be stacked on top. That could be danger for Loda in this bottom lane if he's not careful. Mid lane, I'd say, yeah, we're not going to have a big advantage here, but DK should be able to get some farm here, although I imagine he'll be getting out-farmed. He'll go for the fast ball and then just look to spam that as much as possible. May even do some bottle crowing just to help him out at mid lane.
And it looks like Enchantress is actually going to attempt to jack the pull camp here, and they are going to be double jungling for the moment with the Bane. A very interesting choice to go with here, and CK being left to fend for himself. This is going to be tricky. I really didn't expect this from Zenith at all. Though maybe they're hoping the fact that these two heroes are constantly off the map, that these guys are going to play super defensive.
Yeah, and I think Bane's not going to venture off too far. He's already staying close to the CK. He's not completely double jungling with the Enchantress. It's just sort of to protect the Enchantress as much as anything. Enchantress is a hero who can be sort of found and ganked at level 1, because you don't have to heal till level 2. So if you find the Enchantress with sort of a strong duo like the Shadow Demon Queen of Pain, a Shadow Strike could see the end of Enchantress early on. So I think it's an okay decision, and we'll see where they head now. They've picked up some more creeps. They have got a Centaur, and they may even pick up this Satyr as well, and then look for a gank on mid. DK can be taken out. You can use the sleep to set up this kill, follow it up with a Centaur stun, and they've got now a Satyr Hellcaller. Can they get this kill on mid? We're going to have to wait and see.
Looks like they get a gun for it. Already the Shadow Strike spam has started on the CK, so it's going to be a bit of a rough time. But they're thinking about it. I think they're trying to just drive the DK back. I think they're waiting for they're possibly waiting for the courier. They know DK is actually...
They're sitting on an observer ward right now.
Okay.
DK knows where they are and where they're coming from. He's going to run down. He spots them out. He should run down. He needs to be careful. There's a tree there. Ooh, that was close to shackling to that tree by him. And he was about to walk into another tree. They're not going to get the sleep off. That was close. DK knew it was coming, but he still almost got shackled down, and that could have been enough time for Bane to get off asleep. But no, he's going to get away. Nice positioning all in all by Sylar, and some wasted time, a wasted gank by Zenith there. Although it's one of the things, that's how what you have to do as Enchantress. It's a high-risk hero. If you don't get those ganks, you end up getting a bit under-leveled, under-farmed.
There we go. They're actually going to transition their own jungle. CK is being left alone here completely. He's currently 5-1. Maybe they're just hoping for levels on him, and then he's going to try and catch up by ganking. Because I guess he's not really looking for a ton of farm heroes. They're going to be hoping that they're going to be resting most of their hopes on Lotus Syllabear, getting that early radiance up, and then just causing a lot of havoc with that early. But right now, CK is going to get absolutely squat nothing in this lane. It's a very, very rough lane for him. And there we go. Again, the Shadow Strike spam. Although, Double D actually not following up there. I think he was possibly going for a disruption. Not to show over the gank on bottom. There's the slow. The Frostbite over the bear gets thrown back in the Brewmaster's face. And the Thunderclap is down as well. Will they give chase? Loader going to have to juke like a madman here. Can he get away? Another auto attack. He's very, very low. And a lovely block there is going to juke back. Going to keep an eye on him. In fact, needs to be careful not to block himself. Going to send the bear back through. Nice play there from Loader.
Really nice. Really smart play. Great positioning. And he did manage to save his life there, although he's going to keep chewing through regen. Sure, he survived it, but look at his farm. 6 creep kills only, and now he has chewed through all his regen. He's going to just buy maybe more HP regen and fly it out to him, but all in all, he cannot really lane against this dual lane here. And you can see Lich is going to start his bear. His bear is actually going to start doing some creep pulling for him, because that's about all he can do. And he's used his 200 gold just to buy 2 salves here. So he's not going to have any farm at all this bottom lane, and it's only going to get worse for him as Brewmaster and Leech level up their nukes.
Ouch, that stings indeed. Now the sort of semi-tri-lane junglers have returned to the top lane, trying to cause some pressure, open up some space for Ice, and this is definitely looking rough for Zenith at the moment. As there we go, there's that dire easy camp pull, going to abuse that, make sure they deny or just stall as much experience as possible, try and just mess with Zenith's day. He can actually pull that into the hard camp as well. As it looks like they're going to duck back in the jungle, clean up some more hard camps. Meanwhile, mid lane has been pretty passive. Windrunner has found himself a haste rune. And Dragon Knight has picked up his own bottle, although 6-0, hasn't got a whole lot. It looks like a bit of a dive going. Ice going very deep into enemy territory, actually salves up behind enemy lines. Queen of Pain is just going to blink away. This is a big waste of time, actually, to be dead honest. Although they actually know they're going to go in for the tower. This is actually worthwhile. If they can push the tower down, this is definitely going to help out quite a bit. Enchantress trying to jack the creep up there. The stun goes down the net as well. Queen of Pain has made a terrible mistake. Blink short. Excuse me, it's the tower is beating away on Ice, so another scream. She will get taken out for first blood, and Ice somehow managing to make that work for very much a miss blink there by Queen of Pain. Misclick indeed. And this tower is likely to get taken out if this keeps up.
Yeah, really nice timing with the gank. Even if they hadn't gotten that kill, they would have at least got a tower of this. So the gank timing was smart because they're going to get a tower if they don't get the kill, but they get the kill as well. And the first blood gold going to Ice. And considering he was not farming well at all, that's going to help him out a huge amount at this top lane. He's going to have some treads up now with his magic stick and stout shield. We'll see him probably going to see him build mid lane, though. They've taken out Windrunner. DK coming in with the Shadow Demon and Queen of Pain. I think Queen of Pain TP'd mid for that kill there, as Shadow Demon did set it up for the DK. DK, who is currently bottle crowing quite frequently, just helping him last hit in this mid lane, using that Flame Breath spam.
Queen of Pain has returned to the top lane. She is trying to clash with X-Freedom here for his jungle, or for her jungle rather. She's going to jump in there with a scream. They get the sleep down though. Do they have a creep? They don't have a creep to follow up though. They have nothing. Although here comes CK. Can he get the stun down? Not in time. Queen of Pain blinking away. As Loader still level 4. This is not much fun. In fact, he's under so much pressure. He's actually had to pick up stats. This is actually relatively unusual, I think.
That is, yeah, I don't know if that was intended or not, but yeah, I agree. Maybe his point in stats isn't all that bad. And he's not going to be able to do anything at all for a long time. Level 4, he is in struggle town and really a big liability for his team. And that's just because of the basically impossible lane that he was up against. I mean, he did some great jigging, he made some big plays happen, but that ultimately, all it did was save his life. When you're losing out this much in farm and XP, not dying doesn't really change the lane whatsoever, and he's still in a very bad position right now, bottom lane. Especially,
it's not so much, like some heroes they fall behind and they've got to catch up, but in this case the issue really is he is the team's backbone here. Their strategy is completely reliant on Loader getting up that radiance when they need it, so they can start just causing a lot of havoc in the team fights and just start pressuring multiple lanes at once, just using the mobility with the bear. And without that, well, he has nothing to offer his team. And when the CK has also had such a rough lane up top, he's been left alone. The junglers have really achieved very little as well. This is not looking good for Zenith. In fact, I'm going to bring this up. They are going to have the gold advantage just because they have taken a tower. And of course, they got a kill as well, helping things out. The stun goes down on Xiao, not doing a whole lot though, as it looks like Reality Rift got cancelled there by the blink. See DK going to head up to top, although, no, he's just going to get his bottle back. Actually, the Crow going to jump down there and give that back to him. I thought he was going to go up there and try and... I'm like, he's got no mana though. What's he going to do? And Loda, 16-1, not where you want to be at 8 minutes in as a carry.
Yeah, and just under-leveled as well. I mean, Lich just putting pressure on. He's lurking around behind. I imagine there'll be some TP supports if they go all in for this. Brewmaster has an ulti. Great. Another great block. He's using his Spirit Bear just to block these advances in these small pathways. He's really using those choke points to perfection, Loader. Otherwise, he'd be like 0-3 at the moment. But he hasn't died yet. And that's one of those things. As long as you don't die, you don't fall too far behind on the farm when you're not getting much farm. It's when you get the deaths as well, which is where you're using your gold on TP scrolls. You're using 5 more tangos. If you just stay alive, you preserve so much of that gold, which is so important for a hero like Lone Druid, although we're not going to be seeing a relic anytime soon. He's hit level 6 though, immediately popping the true form, and that's going to help him out a great deal for any aggression coming out from the LGD squad.
I think his problem is his bear is struggling in the last hit anything, because he has actually skipped a level of it. Synergy, so it's not doing a whole lot of damage at the moment. CK actually playing super aggressive, and it looks like he's actually going for an armlet. He has picked up a Helm of Iron Will. I think it's what we saw Zenith get against IG as well, Gods, if memory serves me correctly.
Yeah, I think he goes for the armlet later on. I don't know if he'll go straight for the armlet, but he'll maybe get a treads or get some treads, get maybe the drum of endurance, but he will ultimately build an armlet out because it does synergize well with your ulti. You pop the armlet before your ulti, and your illusions have a lot of HP. You get the bonus damage as well, and they don't actually have the life drain, which you get on yourself when you cast armor. Then as soon as you cast your ulti, you turn it off. Top lane, they've gone on Queen of Pain, defensive disruption. Big play from DD. He keeps Yahweh alive. The sleep there is there. The trouble is not over. Shadow Demon cancels the sleep. Queen of Pain throws out an ulti, takes too much damage though. And DK coming in, gets a revenge kill. Bane goes down. Now HY in a lot of trouble. Brewmaster is TPing as well. Great counter gank coming from LGD. They're not done. They've lost 2 though. Ice drops his stun. He's trying to get away and it looks like he will. Siler can't keep up with him. And Brewmaster meanwhile has gone in on Windrunner. Windrunner should go down, but the Brewmaster ulti about to wear off. I think Windrunner may actually survive this one if she can juke through the trees and avoid this tower. And whether or not that's going to happen, we'll have to wait and see. Lich actually going down at bottom lane to a solo kill to Lone Druid. That's going to help Loda catch up. And yeah, HY going to suicide to Roshan, who's going to TP out. Big plays from HY. He survives.
And if he didn't go for that TP, Queen of Pain would have run him down just now. Queen of Pain actually looking for a gank on the bottom lane now. And that, I think the Lich dying would have just been a root procking. And of course, Lich not being that tanky, not having... In fact, look, he's pretty much naked at the moment. A root proc would have been pretty much the end of him, actually. Or even if you've got a couple of ones in a row. And actually, he's just going to blink out here, teleport out here. They're not going to have enough damage, not going to have a stun to interrupt. Lich is only level 5, doesn't have that mini stun. Chaos Knight in the mid though, and that's very aggressive from Chaos Knight. That play that they're making up top was ridiculously aggressive. I should also mention that for pure laning, I think this is actually better off than an early Ring of Health. That Helm of Armor, just because it gives the extra armor as well. That really benefits him so much. And you're only trading at like 1 health per second, which is not a huge deal on the strength hero.
It is a nice pick up here, and the problem is going to be for Zenith though, that with this blink up on the Brewmaster, Yao is going to be looking for some big engagement whenever he has his ulti up. It is a long cooldown, which is why they're probably not going to be looking for too much aggression right now, but as soon as it's up, they'll be looking to go on the aggressive once again and really start basically taking down a tower there. They haven't taken any towers yet, but I think once they have the Brewmaster ulti, they'll try and really start putting on the pressure there.